Hey everyone, Nick here from Firefly Studios. If you hadn't guessed it from the title of this video, this week we're going to be answering a bunch of community questions related to our next Stronghold game, aka Stronghold Next. We've been keeping a close eye on our comment sections for previous Stronghold Next videos, which should appear on screen now. There you go. And they're gone. There have been an absolute shed load of really interesting questions that we can answer before the gameplay reveal. This Q&A will actually be split into two parts with over 50 questions answered in total. So without further ado, let's get to it. Bestie says, will it be like the Crusader series? Interesting question. So obviously Stronghold Next is not Stronghold Crusader 3, but we are in many ways treating it like a new sort of chapter in the history of Stronghold. So like Crusader back in 2002, it's going to have a new setting, new characters, new mechanics. Yeah, we're treating it as like a new SKU for the franchise. And it might even have a colon in the title. But I'm the only one who cares about that, aren't I?
Yep.
Victor Soars asks, will the game be coming to PlayStation 4? While that's not planned for Stronghold Next, as we planned it as a PC exclusive title, we could be doing it in future for future entries in the series. The problem still though comes down to mapping RTS controls to a traditional PlayStation or Xbox controller. There have been some games in the past that have done this well, Halo Wars 2 for instance, but those were designed from the ground up for console and PC, and they do certain things like simplifying troop control, so maybe you control a squad of troops rather than individual units. We don't feel comfortable doing that in the Stronghold game. We want you to have control over each individual unit. So not for Stronghold Next, but possibly in future. Heronana asks, Stronghold Legends, but with mythology. Did I guess right? Nope, no Stronghold Legends 2, and King Arthur didn't actually exist. Mind blown.
You make me sad.
No Channel asks, will it have a multiplayer mode? Of course, going forward, every Stronghold game, every main sort of entry in the Stronghold series will have a multiplayer mode and a skirmish mode. We know how important AI, combat and playing with your friends online and a mix of those two things, how important that is for the game in terms of longevity, so we're going to be making sure that every Stronghold game has that. And with future titles, we may even up the player count as well. Generic Username asks, will the game be 3D or will it be isometric? You know how you can find out? You can find out by subscribing here on YouTube and wait for the gameplay reveal. Terminator679 asks, where can I buy this awesome Firefly Studios t-shirts? Come see us at a show. We usually give them away for people completing our demos in a certain amount of time or beating one of the developers or something like that. Or I'll give you my PayPal details and you can just slip me 50 quid. ZB3N asks, nice and informative video. Can you do something like this again soon? Yep, you're watching it. Lord Sarite/Denny asks, how about a futuristic Stronghold game with lightsabers and lasers instead of swords and archers? Or a Stronghold game in Middle-aged Japan, China, let's bring something new to the table. Absolutely agreed. Bring something new to the series is exactly what we're planning for Stronghold Next, and while it would be tempting to remake an older title in the series, that's not what we're doing this time around. We want to bring something new to the table in terms of the core mechanic, in terms of the visual style, in terms of the units, and give someone, you know, like a reward for long-term Stronghold fans that kind of want something fresh. We won't be revealing the setting until the gameplay reveal, and lightsabers didn't exist. Well, they haven't yet, hopefully, I'm hoping to. But yeah, we're talking about a fairly big change in terms of our historical background for Stronghold Next, so stay tuned for that and be excited if you're a veteran. Pixel Surge simply asks, does it have a skirmish mode? Yes, it does. Moving on. Simone Gambarini asks, a lot of Game of Thrones merchandise, ... Maybe this is a clue? And then he has those like suggestive emoticons, smiley faces. We don't have any Game of Thrones merchandise. That's Sir William from Stronghold 2.
The king will make you pay for this.
Hunter1302 Hunter asks, what is it with mods in Stronghold Next? Will the game have Steam Workshop support? So while modding isn't really on our radar at this relatively early stage, we will be having Steam Workshop support. We will be adding that much earlier this time than we did with Crusader 2. So you'll be able to share all your custom scenarios, your custom maps, your Lord of the Rings castles, your historical recreations with the Steam community, and we're hoping to allow you to do that as early as possible. Luca Borges asks, is Stronghold Next going to be free or paid? Definitely paid. When we make free games, we can design them from the ground up from that, and this is designed from the ground up as a paid, regular title. Crunch asks, will there be diplomacy and trading? So while we can't get into spoiler territory at this point before the gameplay reveal, we can say we'll be doing some interesting stuff related to diplomacy, which will be affected by the new gameplay mechanic. You can also expect, your classic Stronghold trading, that kind of gameplay, and we're going to be making that as intuitive and effortless as possible, so that the whole game's about managing your castle and the sort of general war effort across the battlefield first, and sort of, micromanaging stuff second, so you can kind of focus on your grand battle. So Dan Conti, with 233 upvotes, asks, how much wood will be needed, my lord? All I've got to say is the stockpile will be full, my lord.
A little short on wood, sire.
Michael Orlandi asks, when is it supposed to be released? So to quote Mario creator Shigi Miyamoto, I would say a delayed game is eventually good, but a rushed game is bad forever. So expect that to be our sort of mantra for all Stronghold games going forward, that we're self-publishing, they'll be ready when they're ready. Austin Hunter says, did I hear the ability to play with friends against AI? Yes! Yes! Yes, you did.
Fight!
Septique79 says, Stronghold Rome, a good idea? So obviously, as our studio background goes, our designers worked on Caesar 3, we worked on Civ City Rome, so we adore the setting, but we don't feel it's right for a Stronghold game for a few reasons. Firstly, Roman games are usually about a city rather than a castle. Secondly, they're usually about building and managing this kind of settlement rather than that and attacking and besieging. So while we love the setting, we don't feel like it's right for Stronghold. We would love to do something with it, but no plans to do that under the Stronghold brand at the moment. Rigiz Kigi asks, will you guys make Stronghold Crusader games again? So as we revealed in our previous video, Stronghold Next is not Stronghold Crusader 3, neither is it a remake of any form. We know the Crusader series is our most popular offshoot, one of the most famous series for the games. But rest assured, Stronghold Next will have loads of the features that made Crusader popular. So skirmish mode, that's in there. Classic units will be in there as well, and there are other cool things as well that we can't talk about yet, but you definitely will look forward to. Both Marius and Real Thug ask, will you be at Gamescom this year? We have something like a spy at Gamescom this year, and you're probably not going to see him, but next year we'll be there in full force. SKL-1 asks, is this the best studio ever, or what? Unfortunately, I'm British, so I can't accept compliments, but I will tell you, and I will boast about the fact that we are the best damn Firefly studios online. Annihilate Apocalypse asks, a small request from a Stronghold fan. Can you ensure that the Trebuchet has a counterweight that can launch a 90 kilogram projectile over 300 meters? Thanks. Trebuchet memes. Gotta love them. Benji Tomez asks, are you going to publish Stronghold Next this year? So as much as I'd love to say that we're going to get Stronghold out in the next couple of months, a new RTS is quite a complicated, involved task, especially for a small team in terms of designing it, producing it and testing it in a single year. Particularly one we're happy with releasing. What I can say is that we're going to be aiming to release Stronghold Next much sooner after announcement than we did with Crusader 2, so read into that however you want. Mattia Tognin says, what languages will Stronghold Next support? So Stronghold Next will actually have the most languages supported of any Stronghold title, with 12 currently planned. These will include sort of both text and audio for most of them, with some being text only. And you can sort of comfortably expect it to feature many of the same languages we supported in the past, along with a few extras to sort of support growing Stronghold communities worldwide. Fiona Butgen asks, I'm so excited. Can we expect completely new music, or can we expect the classic music entry every Stronghold fan loves? So as you might expect with a completely new setting, you can look forward to a completely new soundtrack. Rest assured the music will be as sort of authentic and atmospheric as you'd expect, with period-specific instruments. We'll have a lot more to reveal on the soundtrack and the music in the coming months, so stay tuned on that front for more sort of like news and previews, and I might even upload it to Spotify so you can listen to it at school or work. So that was our first batch of questions. Now remember, this was just the first part of our Q&A, so make sure you're not only subscribed to on YouTube and you hit the bell, but make sure you tune in next week, Thursday at 3 PM for our second half. Finally, as always, if you like the video, make sure you give us a like, share it, and tune in next week for more Stronghold Next news. Right, let's get this whole Fortnite dance thing over with, I guess. Now that I'm in my dancing t-shirt, see what you made me do? See what we do for the views? This was the gym as well. It's quite hot. It's fun though.